Hello everyone, this is Elder Prince Lorian, or Lorian of the Future, whichever one. However, I want to tell everyone something. You might have realized already, well, of course you realized, my name is Artemis File 14. Let me tell you the story behind my actual account and how I started everything. Because in the beginning, what I actually did was, what was it? Yeah. I originally wanted to have this name from The Matrix, because I love The Matrix. It's my favorite game. No, wait, favorite movie. Yeah, favorite movie. And the thing about it was, I really loved the actual main person called Neo. That, like, when I was a little kid, I was always growing up, and I was like, hey, cool, The Matrix is on. I was like, Dad, The Matrix is on, right? And it always, whenever it was on, like, I'd try to watch it, but I didn't really know the actual name until later. I was a little older when I found out what the name was, but anyways, as I was saying, my account name was actually supposed to be named Neo, but I ended up looking at Artemis Fowl, the book, and I decided to name myself Artemis Fowl. I was 14 at the time, or maybe older. And also because Artemis, he was 14 in the book series I was reading. So I was like, why not name myself Artemis Fowl 14? Because Artemis is 14, and I am 14, so yeah, it's decided. Artemis Fowl 14. And so there I had it, I made that name. The whole reason was because when I was growing up, I didn't really have a lot of stuff to do at my mom's house. And besides every few weeks, you know, every 2 weeks I'd go and visit my dad's house, which had the PlayStation. And there was nothing to do at my mother's house, so all I did was read. Well, anyways, back to how it all happened. Every 2 weeks I'd visit my dad on the second weekend. So it'd be like 1, 2, like weekend 1 was my mom's weekend, weekend 2 was my weekend. And so, weekend 2 was more of my dad's weekend, and also sort of mine. Because what I would do is I would just go into the house, first thing I do, jump on the PlayStation. And oh Jesus, there I found, like, I already knew it right from there, right then and there, that I was gonna be a really good gamer. I already knew my talent was gaming. That was all I ever could do. That was the only thing I was good at. I couldn't go outside. I wasn't good at basketball. I wasn't good at baseball. Couldn't even hit the ball in baseball. I'm not good at soccer. I'm not good at kicking stuff. Especially not balls, because soccer, it's kind of strange. I'm used to kicking things with the front of my foot, not the, like, flat end of my foot, like the top. Yeah, whatever. So I definitely couldn't play soccer. And I was really good with my hands. My hands are like, they move very, very fast. So that's how I got into gaming. I started gaming when I was like 6, I think. And by that time I turned 6, I picked up the first type of gaming system ever, the PSP. Well, for me that was the first gaming, whatever. And well, I don't remember the name of the game that I played, but it was my first game that I've ever played. It was like this game with trucks, cars and stuff. And so I liked it. I liked playing video games. And well, the thing about me was that, like, right then and there when I picked that up, I knew that I had a talent for gaming, because no one else was really that good at playing games. Well, video games, not as good as I was. Like, I was the best in the house. And we got a, later on, like, my dad bought a PS3, and we got that game. We got a few games for that, and that's when I really started getting into it. That's when it all began. Like, every summer and every day I came home from school, I'd get up or take my clothes off, put on my home clothes, and then jump on the PlayStation 3. And of course, my childhood game, Little Big Planet 3, no wait, 2, Little Big Planet 2. The way I was introduced by it was, the first Little Big Planet game I played was Little Big Planet 1. And that's how I was introduced to Little Big Planet 2. Of course, I didn't own my Neo account that time. I made it when I was like 14 or older. Don't remember the exact age I was when I made it. Like, I do remember it though, but I just don't remember the exact age. Jesus. Well, anyways, by then, like, I should have known. I thought my dad actually bought the game for Little Big Planet 1. I mean, Little Big Planet 1. I thought he actually bought that game. But, no. He actually bought the, what's it called? He actually bought it for, like, I think he rented it. Because by then, there was, like, this store called Blockbusters, and we could rent stuff from there. I don't think there was a GameStop in that area, because I lived in a small little town, like, out in Arizona. And well, everyone knows that the little towns, well, barely get anything. We don't get shit out there. So all we had was a small little Blockbusters, and I thought there's like this cable place that was next to it, I think. Not exactly sure. It was like so long ago. Last time, no wait, the time I lived there and the time the stores were there, I think I was like, I think I was 11 or 10 years old. No wait, 9 years old. Then they took them out. Anyways, that was before any of the Soul series were out, not that I knew of. I don't think they were even created then. I was introduced to one of the Souls games, Demon Souls, when I was at my mom's. Because they had this PlayStation, a whole bunch of other stuff there. And that PlayStation, like, had Demon Souls on it. Because my mom's, her boyfriend, like, decided to put that on there. I was like, cool, this game's nice. The first class, I hate to say it, I was a knight, because I was stupid. I didn't know there's magic in that game. But I take a closer look, and yeah, there's magic. So, I quit out of that one. I sucked as a knight. I really did. So, anyways, as I was saying, I quit out of that class, and I went straight to being a magician, because that's what they called it. I think magician or wizard. But anyways, the clothing was wizard clothing, while the class itself was called magician. Yeah, magician. And well, I was really nice at it. Loved being a magician. But here's the thing. I got the game, I think, 3 years after it was out. So the graphics weren't that well, of course. Don't expect it to be too good. Anyways, I later on, let's skip 3 years later. And I later on decided to get Demon Souls again, but for my PS3. When I moved my dad's house. And well, I went through the whole game. I beat the whole game for Demon Souls. Don't remember much of the bosses, but I do remember my hardest boss I fought was most likely King Alot. Armored Spider was pretty annoying, but I had this one guy on my first run. He ran up and he had like these weird, like they look sort of like the butcher's knives. Like the butcher's knife. However, no handle. And I think he had him on his arm. And he just hits the armored spider like 5 or 4 times and the thing just dies. It takes like almost about all its health and the thing dies. And I was so glad because I just beat that boss right there and I didn't have to do anything. I was like, how the hell is this possible? Then later on I go to the Tower of Latria and I noticed that there's these weird squid-like things. They lift you up and this knife comes out of their mouth and stabs you straight through the waist. And I died instantly. The second they picked me up, I died. However, I learned, well, might as well soul farm here. So yeah, I picked up my catalyst and just started shooting a whole bunch of soul arrow at the enemies. And until I got like enough souls to level up a couple times. And well, it was still pretty difficult. I pumped it all into my health like an idiot. And that led to... Oh, that led to me having a lot of health. But for being a sorcerer... as I said, didn't do me much good. However, I think at Tower Latria, the boss there was Idol's Fool. It was a difficult boss for me because, one, the traps. 2, she'd be shooting spells at you, and, what was it? I think that was about it. Like, she'd place on traps, and like when you fell into them, well, when I fell into them as a phantom, I'd take about almost all my health. Oh my god, his body fell through the floor. It's pretty funny. Anyways, right after that boss, I got confused, and well, when I beat it myself, I got confused and I didn't know where to go. So what I did, I went to the next stone. And you guys got to remember, in Demon Souls there were no bonfires. There's nothing like that. There's these things called archstones, and you had to beat the whole area on your own. It's similar to Bloodborne, but there's only one archstone. And like another archstone would appear, but only after you killed the boss. But in Bloodborne, you guys know that a phantom only appears, a lantern will only appear like once in one area, then another time, then another time. Maybe you'll get like 2 or 3 lanterns in one area, but in Demon Souls you only got one archstone. That was it. One archstone until you reach the boss area, and then you had to kill the boss. And after you killed the boss, there you go. You got the next archstone. Yeah. However, I didn't know what to do, like what that archstone was for. I think it was just there so you could go back to the boss for no apparent reason. I noticed you couldn't summon phantoms after that, and I was moderately good at the PvP in Demon Souls. I was with a wing spear and like the wizard's clothing, and I'd just be killing people that way. That was pretty difficult, like, for me to run that way. The only reason why it was difficult because at first I started off with the rapier. So anyways, I used a rapier to fight in Demon Souls, of course, because I thought it was that game that when you got a new weapon, you got stronger. But no, it's one of those games. You get one weapon, you can stick with it if you want, find a better weapon, upgrade that better weapon, and keep it as long as you wanted. Like certain weapons for certain things. Like this weapon, for instance. Morion Blade. As you all know, that in Demon Souls, if you guys know correctly, you start off with a short sword, and you'd basically fight that way. And you had a catalyst, and you could enchant. You could enchant your sword. However, you had to buy it from this one guy. I think he was the apprentice of Sage Freck. And Sage Freck was imprisoned in Tower Latria, or Latria. I don't care how you pronounce it. Anyways, what happened was you had to save him. And he'd be sitting in there meditating, and he'd have this weird white ball in the cage. Like as if he's trying to signal someone for help. I forgot there's another guy in there who was saying, "Please help me," and he was banging on the cage. I had the keys to free him, which I think I did. Yeah, I did. I was never able to free Sage Freck on my first run because I was too stupid. And well, of course, I was an idiot and I was a freaking noob. But still, a noob that was real good at the player versus player. At least I had that. Because honestly, you could run through the game, but you're always gonna get invaded. Demon Souls or Dark Souls, just sadly that's how it is. Dark Souls or Demon Souls, you're gonna get invaded. You just gotta learn how to cry yourself to sleep, or just move on. However, some people just choose to cry themselves to sleep, or rage so much that they break everything around them, including their own console. And yes, Demon Souls was that hard of a game. About the bosses in the game, like there's something about them that made them very difficult. Is that most of them had these little minions, and they do just as much damage as the boss themselves, which made the game so damn challenging, so people didn't really like it that much. And also there's another thing about this one enemy. It was like this red-eyed demon in Boletaria. I tried to cross this bridge. I couldn't kill it. It was so fast, and one hit would just kill me. I tried luring it out. I wasn't successful. It caught up and killed me. And well, once it did that, it got ugly. I tried countless times to kill that enemy, over and over and over, but he was just way faster than me. I couldn't strike him once. I tried using my shield against him. He broke my guard and killed me. I think that was meant for higher levels, or maybe it was meant to keep lower level players out. And well, I don't know what else to say, but Demon Souls was a very hard game. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And for those of you people who are gonna say, "Oh, that's a you problem. Oh, that's a lie. Demon Souls was so damn easy. It's too easy. Like it's not as hard as Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 1 or 2 or Bloodborne's." Like, dude, if you're gonna sit there and tell me right in my face that Demon Souls wasn't hard, well, you obviously have no brain. Like, really. It's just an empty shell. And by shell, I mean your skull. Like, cause really, it goes without saying, Demon Souls is a very fucking hard game. And a matter of fact, it's the hardest game I've ever played. Because there's so little spells in Demon Souls. The only spell that there was that I remember was just regular soul arrow. I think. Yeah, just regular soul arrow. And you have like this brown catalyst. And if you guys look closely at the mage armor, it bears a lot of resemblance to hold on. Let me pull it out. Bears a lot of resemblance to oh, what's his name? I mean, what's the name of the set? There's a lot of resemblance to the wizard clothing. Well, anyways, this garb right here that I'm wearing on my chest, the Candleliston armor. If you guys want to be like Orbic of Vinheim, just do this. And take off your hat. But anyways, as I said, yeah, those of you who say Demon Souls is a easy game, I think you guys are, there's no other way to put this, I think you guys are very, very, very high on drugs. For those of you who are saying Demon Souls is easy, because it was a pain in my ass to beat. Anyone, like, I'm just, I hate to say this, but, well, actually, I don't. Because people think that these games are so damn easy. They're not. Trust me, they are not easy. I'm just sick and tired of it. And just people thinking that these games are easy. It's not. It's very, very difficult. Most people, when they start this game, they can't even kill the first boss. Me, I killed the first boss my second try. That was only because I had experience from Demon Souls. Because I knew how to roll, I knew how to fight, I knew how to block, I knew how to, of course, fight. By fight, I mean attack. I knew how to dodge, everything like that. I wasn't very good at parrying, because I never learned how to parry in Demon Souls. But yeah. I was the best at Demon Souls out of all the friends I have. I know that for a fact. But nothing comes naturally when it comes to these games. It all has a lot to do with stuff that you develop. Like, in order to get good at these games, you're not just born with the ability to be very good at player versus player in this game, because there's always people who are gonna get better. There's always someone better. Of course, I hate to say this, but there's probably gonna be someone who's better than me. And well, that's just about it, because I can't really say any more about these games. Like, you people are just out there. You guys make your own opinions. You guys are in your own little world. But, and I don't really care about that. You guys are in your own little world. You guys think about whatever you want. Just don't say Dark Souls or Demon Souls or any of these Souls games are easy. Please, just please. Because these games, we all know it. And we all know you're lying. Tell us the truth. It's hard as fuck. And well, I think that's about enough for this video, because all it was me just talking about my past and how all this stuff went along. But still, I might have one last thing to add. Let me just look up there to see if there's anything left in my mind that I want to get out before it's too late, or before I end this video. Because I know I haven't uploaded in a long time. I know I haven't done a normal video in a long time. That's because the people who I usually play Dark Souls with are defiant. They don't want to play Dark Souls. I don't know what's wrong with these kids, but they think that it's so easy to be a leader. It's not. Especially since it's the beginning of my covenant. It's just a lot of stress on me. I don't have a lot of members for my group. I don't have a lot of people I can count on. I don't have a lot of stuff like figured out. I don't have everything organized. I'm trying to, but it's difficult, like, on getting that stuff between schools. No, I mean between school and between YouTube, between gaming. And yeah, it's pretty difficult to be a leader. Main reason is because I have to give everyone in this covenant attention. Like, let's say we have Jason and we have Aaron. I can't just give Jason all the attention and leave Aaron out. And those aren't actual members of the covenant. I'm just saying random names. But anyways, like, I can't do that. I can't split myself in half and go be with some other person. Like, at the same time, I can't be with Jason and split in half and my other half be with Aaron and help them both out with Dark Souls. No, it can't work like that. It can't. Like, I wish it could, but actually, no, I don't wish it could, because then I'd have to rip in half and I'd have all my guts spilling out. It'd be kind of disgusting. But anyways, for those of you who want to join the Moonlight Warriors, just contact me. Just put it in the comments, please. And trust me, I read the comments. And well, here's another thing that the Moonlight Warriors, we only accept people into our covenant that are level 1 to level 25. Main reason is because they tend to fight me on my methods. They tend to, like, let's say this, I got a guy who's a level 150 and he's like, oh, can I join your covenant? I was like, sure. And he makes a new character and he's running with that character. And then later on, like, when I leave him, he gets out of that character and he goes into his 150. And then later on, I join him back again and I see his sorcerer character, or the Moonlight Warrior character I helped him make. It's not even, there's nothing done on it. And then later on, like, he fixes stuff and he adds his own crap to it. And I'm like, hey, dude, what did you do? And like, Oh, dude, I just did all this stuff. Like, no, dude, you gotta do it how I told you. Well, you know what? Screw how you told me to do it. I'm gonna do how I want it. It's like, fine, just get out the Covenant. We've actually had an issue with a guy who did exactly the same thing. I wanted to make him a sorcerer. I gave him the Moonlight Greatsword, and I said, hey, if you want to be a Moonlight Warrior, you gotta use the Moonlight Greatsword. And he's like, no, I don't want to. He's like, well, there's other Moonlight Swords. You want to use the Crescent Moonlight Sword? And he's like, no. And I'm like, dude, you gotta use the ones. Like, dude, I don't want any Moonlight weapon of any type. I just want to use my. Well, dude, I hate to say this to you, but you don't belong in my Covenant, because I have these rules laid out, and if you're not gonna follow, you're just wasting my time. So, get out. And then later on, he comes back and he's all pissed off because I kicked him out. And he's like, oh yeah, you're a piece of shit, you fucking bitch. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass in Dark Souls. And we even had a fight, like, right here. And my friend Cesar was up here. He was trying to record the whole thing, but an error happened and he couldn't record. And I was doing a share play with my cousin and I couldn't record it, because he was in the share play. And he couldn't record it because we were idiots. And we thought you could record and share plays, but no. You can't use any one of those settings. And the guy, he got mad because my methods of fighting in the Moonlight Warriors is that we fight dirty. He got mad because I killed him with DLC weapons, and because I used an Estus flask. Like, that's pretty stupid, because he never stated there were any rules that I couldn't use an Estus flask. And that's just dumb. Like, you can't use heals in a PvP match. Like, that's just the name of the game in Dark Souls. You do whatever you can to live in Dark Souls. And as a Moonlight Warrior, like, we do whatever we can to live in Dark Souls, or to survive. That's, if that means fighting dirty, then yeah, we're gonna fight dirty, of course. But I think I'm turning into a windbag, but what I'm trying to say, if you guys are gonna fight me in any way, just get out, because I can't have you in here. I don't have a lot of time to be dealing with you and a whole bunch of other people at once, because I'm the leader and I have to deal with 15 people at once, and now I know how my father feels. I have to take care of a whole bunch of people, and they don't really follow orders very well. But still, I still appreciate that they're in the Covenant. I still appreciate that they're there. I'm very glad that I have them. I'm very fortunate to even have this small amount, and I'd really like to have more people in the Covenant. I really would. But the thing is, and while the thing is, as I was saying, is that you gotta follow the rules. We don't need another incident like Crimhild, because it was a total disaster. Like, just because she didn't want to follow one rule meant a disaster for the whole Covenant. The rules aren't just there for you to, they're not there for you to break them. I have the rules there so they can help us through all this stuff, because they're there to not just protect us, but to guide us on how we do stuff. They're basically like, you know, a race car track, right? And you put a car in that race car track, and the car is driving on that track. However, if you want to be a rebel and you want to turn and go straight through the track and not follow the road, well, you're gonna fuck it up for everyone. Soon everyone else is gonna go like, hey, why don't I just do this? Boom! There's a giant car crash right in the middle of a grassy field. No, 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 disaster, no. I'm not. I can't deal with that. Like, I really can't. I have a lot of stuff I have to deal with, and there's a lot of stress and a lot of stuff on my plate already as it is. And as I said, the Covenant's still kind of young, so I really need more members. So the saying's gonna go, the more the merrier. For me anyways. As long as you're level 1 to 25. And you gotta be a noob. You gotta be a noob to the Souls series. Or to Dark Souls 3. Gotta follow my rules, and I don't really tolerate people making more than one character, because it's hard to keep track of. Well, for me to keep track of you, mainly. Like, I don't actually do it myself. However, I only did it once, and I'm never on those characters. Reason why is because it's so difficult to keep track of them. That's why I have this one character. And this character, yes, it's over leveled. Yeah, you people say whatever you want, but I'm gonna say this thing about it. This character was screwed up the second I went over 150. So I was like, oh, I'm already knee deep in the water, so why not go deeper? So I did, and I ruined it even more. Now, basically all I fight are lag switchers, glitchers, modders, hackers, stuff like that. But I also use this character for training the lower levels, because it's real nice training, and it works. It works. If you were to look at David and Angel, they've become flawless. And the only way that they've become that way is because they're fighting against me. I have a special way of training them. It's not just, oh, get a higher level player and place that higher level player against a lower level player, and then boom, you have an automatic super Dark Souls player. No, no. I have this special method to training people. So, yeah, don't even try to copy it, because it won't work out for you. If you guys want to, like, I'll train you, but only if you join the Covenant. And if you guys are all those higher level people, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to tough it out. Because I'm only lending this offer to people from level 1 to level 25. For all of you guys that need help out there, this is the reason why I made this Covenant. Because when I started Dark Souls, there's no one to look after me, no one to help me. I sucked at PvP, which was strange because I was really, really nice at it in Demon Souls. And you know what? I really, really sucked at the PvE as well, along in boss fights. I couldn't solo a boss in the beginning of Dark Souls 3, except for the first boss. That boss was pretty easy. Now I'm soloing almost every boss, not just because of high level, but because of the skill I gained. I had to learn it, and I had to do this the hard way. And also because I had a teacher. Well, basically my master. If it wasn't for him, I would have been a weak Dark Souls 3 player, and I would have been still relying on everyone to keep me above the water. What I mean by that, I would have been relying on everyone to keep me from dying in Dark Souls, because I suck so much that if I got in contact with one invader, I died. Couldn't even fight one. Not even with 3 people. I couldn't even get in there because they'd find a way and they'd beat the shit out of me, and I was dead within seconds. I don't want that to happen to you guys. So, all those noobs who are starting these Souls games, I'm lending you my helping hand. And it's all up to you if you want to join. Remember, you have this offer up until you reach level 25. And as long as you're a noob. And trust me, I'll know if you're a noob or not. And I'll know if you're an over-leveled player or not. So, yeah. So, basically, in order to get in, I'm going to set the rules over like this. Rule 1, you got to be level 1 to level 25, and you got to be a noob. Rule 2, follow the rules. It makes it much easier for me and you. Rule 3, stick with one character if you can. Or if it's too much for you and you want to run with more than one character, and go ahead. But you still gotta follow the rules within Covenant. That means you can't have your character go over like the level or the level cap that we give you for either one of those characters, unless we say it's alright. But anyways, here's the fourth rule. And this is the biggest rule among them all. If you join, be ready to stay in this covenant from the day you die. Because we're basically like as if we're, I don't know how to put it, but I actually don't know how to put it. That's actually pretty strange. But we're basically here forever. We're here to stay. We're not leaving. When Dark Souls 4 comes out, if it comes out, well, I'm pretty sure it's going to come out. People may think that it's not going to come out, but I know, I can feel it, that it's going to come out. People used to say, oh, the second DLC is not coming out. It's never coming out. Don't even think the Ring City or anything like that is not coming out. I mean, is coming out, because it's not. It's like, you idiot. Like, really? You think the Ring City is not coming out? And the day it came out, look at them now. They're probably hiding in their houses, crying their eyes out. Like, oh, I'm such an idiot. The Ring City came out, and they're all playing it like the dumbass they were. I'm directing that to one person. In a friendly way, of course, because I don't want to hurt his feelings. Anyways, this is not the end of the Dark Souls franchise. I'm gonna say this, that we have a long way to go until Dark Souls franchise ends, or until the Souls series ends. I think that we're just at the beginning of the Souls series, 1, 2, and 3. Beginning numbers of a series, beginning numbers of a TV series. We have a long way to go, and well, I'm gonna move on to the fifth rule. And the fifth rule is, well, control yourself, because we don't need people going astray. Like Crime Hill did. And this is the most important rule. Number 6. Control your rage. I know. This is a lot to ask. This game is very, very difficult. It's built to make you rage. I know. I've been there. Trust me. This game makes you rage so much you just want to snap your controller in half and never play this game again. Even snap the disc in half. Don't. Trust me, don't. Like, even meditate if you have to. Just follow number 6, the 6th rule, that control your anger and your rage or whatever, because we can't have you just smashing your controllers and breaking your shit like that. That's what makes a Dark Souler, like anger management. And remember, we're here, and we're here to help. So, yeah. Just so you guys know that. Don't think that you're alone out there in Dark Souls. Always know that us, the Moonlight Warriors, are always going to be here for you when you start this game. It's a very scary game. I'm talking about the PvP, because player versus player is very difficult. And, well, I can't assure you that you'll never die in Dark Souls, because, come on, man, we all know it. It's Dark Souls. You're gonna die. In Dark Souls, you're gonna die. There's actually a part of the quest when you have to die. And trust me, don't try to do any challenges in this, because in order to get to the main area, you have to use this bonfire and travel to Lothric in order to and get to the rest of the story. So there's no such thing as a no bonfire run, no death run, no Estus run. However, those soul level 1 challenges, I also think that's pretty stupid. That's just my opinion. It's kind of dumb, in my opinion, because like, really, like you guys are like taking the game to its limit. Like, I don't think that's what the creator actually wanted it to be like, but if you guys want to do that, please don't brag about it and make it such a big thing, because I know there's a lot of people who like to say, oh, I beat the game on soul level 1, I'm so better than you, bro. But hey, don't start crying after I kill, don't start raging after I kill you with your soul level 1 character, thinking that you're better than me. Just cry and, well, move on. And anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys all have a good night, and I hope you guys all decide to join. Anyone who's able to meet the standards that I have a good night.